To be fair, she's making a really good point. Subscriber, let's talk about it.
Good morning. I'm gonna make this quick because I'm not trying to put y'all in a bad mood. I just have a couple questions and concerns. How do you bitches get up here every day crying and pleading to us that you need a nigga that provides, you need a man that provides only for you? And half of y'all baby fathers didn't even provide y'all with their real name. A lot of you bitches was moaning your baby father's Instagram name for a good 6 months straight because you didn't even know Raymond was his real name. You was moaning Ray got underscore stacks while he was hitting it from the back. In fact, Ray definitely did not have no stacks. You thought because he was posting every day, tap in, who got TD, you thought that nigga had some motion. So what you did was you didn't get to know the nigga, you just let him come in your dry ass ocean. Is that what we're doing? And then fast forward 9 months later, he signed a birth certificate and now you finding out the nigga name is Raymond. So to sum it all up, quite frankly, you bitches don't fuck with niggas that provide. You don't fuck with get money niggas, CEO, executive producers, as much as y'all try to portray that on the internet. You fuck with bum ass niggas with some good dick. And now you trying to get these good wholesome 9-to-5 niggas to pay for the shit that you didn't even ask these other niggas to pay for because you was so digmatized by a nigga who worked at a Burger King drive-thru because he had a Whopper down there. Let's just start to hold ourselves accountable. You got played and now you trying to play all these other niggas. We're not falling for it, sweetie. Have a blessed day.
Listen, she cooked. She cooked, right? Work at Burger King, see a Whopper down there. Yo, she's absolutely right. When you have these expectations for men later in life, and we get it. We hear it all the time. You didn't know better. Now you do. It's okay. It's a sign of growth. It's a sign of development. You're doing better in life. You should want better. Hell, you got a responsibility now. You're responsible for another life. Your standards have to tighten up. We get it. It makes sense. This is not one of the things where I'm saying you're just being emotional. No, you are absolutely right. You have to have better standards. You just have to understand that those men that can now meet those standards, they're going to have questions. And one of the questions that you cannot get around, you cannot, fudge the answers, is the quality of the man that came before them. We all don't want to talk about it, but part of that conversation when people are saying, yo, what's your body count? What's the body count? There's a quality question that's underlining that, that's underneath that. I want to know what type of man met your requirements before and how far away am I from that man? More importantly, I want to know because a lot of the times that's the type of man you like. That's the type of man you're into. Whether or not that's not someone that's good for you, there are qualities in him, especially when you're younger, when you made the decision in your early 20s, part of that is imprinted on you. If you look and saw a through line, all the men that you've been with, how many of them have similarities to him versus me? Am I so far diametrically opposed to who he is that in times of stress, when I'm not there, when I'm not giving you what you say you need, what type of man are you going to look for comfort towards? Is it going to be someone like him? Or do you realize that I'm the better option for you now? Before we continue, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss no upload. Right? We got lives, we got random lives, we got scheduled lives, we got merch in the store. So hype the video, share the video. So listen, this is something that men across the board are always asking the question, especially when you get to the other side of it. And my cohort, we're aging out of the dating game where we can steer this thing. So where some of the questions that you want asked, you want to have a clear answer to is, what did you know about him? Were you pregnant longer than you actually had a relationship of any type of sort with that man? The things that you allowed or you did with him, and I don't get the chance to do those things. These are questions that men are kind of curious about. When you allowed him to do these things, but now you know better. Good, great for you. You're just probably going to have to understand that that's probably who you're going to find yourself with long term. People like that. It's not to say it doesn't happen. Right? We're not monsters. It absolutely happens. You can grow and change and level up. It's just you don't do it in the right ways. You don't do it in the ways that are discernible, that matter to those men that you're trying to attract now. And we get why. You're often not told that you have to be better, that you have to compete, that there's things about you you're going to have to excise like cancer. There's things about you you're going to have to get rid of to get that person you want to be. To walk in that circle, there's weights around you you're going to have to drop. A lot of that's trauma. A lot of that is foolish expectations. You have to understand, it's almost like you're moving states, you're moving communities. You got to shed like a snake. You got to shed the skin that you have now to be over there. And then when you're coming with a kid, you doubly have to shine over there. Because when, as men, we're looking at you and we're saying, all right, there's physically, you're looking great. Now let me see what you sound like. Let me see where your head's at. And if it's very reminiscent upon who you were, who you purporting no longer to be, we're just cautious. And we just say, okay, this is not something I'm going to do long term. This is not something I'm going to move and shake with. This is just going to be something that's good for right now, but not good for the long term. When you are in the situation that she's describing, you don't know this man. You met him, you know, he slid into your DMs and he slid into you. And then that was all that was necessary. But now you want to purport, you want to put out that you move with the big dogs. You moving and shaking. You know all the guys in town. Your last ex was a CEO. Your last ex was CEO of some Fortune 500. He did all these things. Men hear this all the time. My last ex did all these things for me. And the first thing we say, the first and last thing we say, why are you not with him? Why are you not with him? He took you to Dubai. He took you to Monaco. He took you everywhere in the world. He did all these things. He paid all your bills. He paid it from 6 months. He paid it for a year. He paid your rent for a year. Why did you guys break up? That's a good question to have. That's the only thing we want to know the answer to. If you're using this to prop yourself up, to say this is why you deserve these things, it's not a Carfax. We can't pull it up, but we're going to see and want some sort of proof, because what you're saying versus what you're expecting, it seems very different. It seems very far off. You had a man that did everything that you wanted me to do, that you want me to do for you, but you still left him. And whenever you're telling him these things, he's always a better man than even I am. He's doing way better than I am. He's doing things I would never think about. He's doing so many things. I'm looking and saying, why would he do that? Why would a man of this caliber do that? Because I know what I'm willing to do versus the package that you're putting in front of me. It doesn't make any sense. If you're presenting me with the same thing you presented him with, and he actually did that, you need to go chase him. You need to go find him. You need to go apologize. You need to stay with him. You need to propose to him. We're not buying a lot of this stuff that's being put out there. And we'll look at that and we'll see, especially when there's a weight issue, when there's a vernacular issue. We're looking and saying, yeah, the higher up you go in this food chain, the more stringent your qualifications become. The more applications you may field, but the more applications you throw straight into the trash. This is genderless. Right? We understand it when women are talking about it. We understand it when they say, I've got this job, I got these degrees, my qualifications, I run a strict program, as you should. You got to understand those men have a strict program too. And when you say that you got pregnant with Pookie and Ray Ray, you've got 7 kids, but you still expect that type of man to come down from the ivory tower, pluck you from obscurity and say, no more. You don't have to be like this anymore. I see that value. Meanwhile, there's plenty of competition around him. You need to be competing with those. And I know that's not a thing that you want to hear, but that's the truth. Outside of him essentially slumming, he's not going to see you. If you're not in those spaces where they frequent, how they move, that's the watering hole now. If you're not around that, we don't believe you. We just don't believe you. And the easiest way to convince us is with your presence, with how you carry yourself, and is with your history. If Raymond's the baby father, I don't think you're going to be with a C-suite executive anytime soon, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. If I am, let me know down in the comments. If you see other videos on your screen, check those out. Let me know your thoughts about those in those videos. And of course, if you listen to my voice and you have not subscribed, I think you should. I'm just trying to build something dope.